Live from Studio 3, this is Packaging Today with Evelio Mattos, Adam P, and Cory Connors.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Yo, yo, yo. It is Monday, 10:30 p.m.
No.
Or
not here. It's 8:30 in the morning right now. It's 8:30. 7:30
that's right.
Pacific time. 8:30 regular time.
Nice.
Yeah. 10:30 for those pretentious East Coasters.
Yeah, or 10:30 p.m. for us in China. It's super late, super tired.
Yeah.
So good to be back. Haven't been on here for a while. We're missing our third amigo. I think it's Dusty Bottoms.
Yeah.
Mr. Corrugated. He's not here. He's doing, some super important sustainability stuff. I think he's speaking. What's the event that he's speaking at? Do you recall?
He's speaking at an event around sustainable packaging.
Yes.
That's all I
remember. It's the future of sustainability.
Oh, yeah.
And the funniest bit is that Cory sent us the clipping of the news clipping. I gotta show it. Hang on. This is hilarious. I don't know if anybody's even watching this, but
we got Michael and Seth.
Sweet. So funny. All right, I'm gonna share the screen here. You gotta look at this. This is so funny.
It's gonna work. Come on, Evelio.
It's gonna work. Hang on. Oh. You're never gonna believe.
This is not gonna be worth it.
Now. So much pressure. Now it's not. Now it's like wanting to open up photos. It's a whole thing. I know. Damn it.
All I want to do is talk about pimento cheese, and
I'm dragging this on.
Make it happen.
It's not gonna happen. All right, never mind.
Okay, well, it says that it's Cory Connors.
Yep. His name is Cory Connors.
Cory Connors. Also, I put out there on the internet, whilst I was at the golf tournament in Augusta, Georgia, there is a Cory Connors and a Ryan Fox, who are both professional golfers who are playing at the Masters. And I thought to myself, that's pretty impressive that they can be good enough at golf and be packaging experts working for Aurora and
Bloomberg,
respectively. Yeah. So kudos to them I thought I had a lot going on. I thought Evelio had a lot going on. Clearly, Cory and Ryan are another level.
Yeah, they're super busy, those guys.
Although I don't think they made the cut. So Seth asked the question, how was the pimento cheese? And so I did bring back my trap. This is this is what they come in case you're wondering. These, at least this year, this green.
Yeah, so where did you go? Where did you get this pimento cheese?
I went to the Masters golf tournament in Augusta, Georgia. If you're not familiar, it's a major golf tournament. It may be the most recognized golf tournament in the world, potentially. It's a really big deal. It's been going on forever. Best golfers in the world. It's a beautiful course. In Augusta, Georgia, you can't bring a phone or a camera. And so you just have to be there, which is wonderful. There's no selfies. There's no one taking photos of things. It's just a wonderful time. Really, really well maintained. And their food and drink prices are insanely reasonable. And so this LLDP. Oh no, I did avoid the falling tree. So
what's the falling tree?
On Friday, I was there Thursday. On Friday,
is that like a dog leg?
It's like a dog leg, except for that was a good joke. You do live in Scottsdale. You have to know at least a little bit about golf. An actual tree fell over and no one was hurt, but it was this big, tall pine tree that just went and just started tipping over
in the middle of the game.
In the middle, yeah. Funny. And people were like, "Oh, the weather." I'm like, there were people out there. I'm pretty sure it wasn't a hurricane. Something else happened with that tree. So anyway, I brought back this. This is not very exciting, but it's an LLDPE green wrapper. So this is $1.50 for a pimento cheese sandwich. I gotta say, everybody, it's worth about $1.50. I don't know. I mean, I understand why. I get it, right? I get why it's this thing because it's so cheap and we're so used to going to these major sporting events and it's like $15 for a sandwich. The barbecue pork sandwich was delicious. That was only $3. The beer is $5. Everything was super reasonable. You can only buy things like I bought this hat. You can only buy this at Augusta. So, yeah, great event.
Or on eBay.
You could go on eBay. So this year they were selling these garden gnomes, and I was like, why is everyone walking out with a garden gnome? So I went in early. I bought a little garden gnome, brought it back. Turns out I should have bought more and just sold them on eBay because they're worth a lot of money, apparently. So yeah. Anyway, that was my packaging experience. I'm going to take this to the store and I'm going to recycle it in my store drop off because I'm responsible. I brought it all the way back. Yeah,
you got to be responsible.
Sorry,
Seth. What else we got going on?
The sandwich was just okay. It was just fine. I mean, that's it. That's all it was. I'm going to take my hat off, though.
All right, sweet.
Well, you're not in the United States currently.
No, so that's right. I'm not.
Catch us up on the adventures of Evelio Mattos.
All right, perfect. Yeah, so that's right. So we got Adam Peak. Our names aren't even showing up on here, are they? I don't think so.
No, you got to pull the comment down. Pull Seth off of there. He's trying to boo me. Get out of here, Seth.
Can't.
What?
I can't. My Wi-Fi is like,
oh no,
jamming up. Seth is stuck.
We're gonna be booed the whole show.
The whole show. All right.
Dang
so what
it.
do we got? We got so you got Adam Peak, host of People of Packaging. Cory's not here. And then me, you got me, Evelio Mattos from Packaging Unboxed podcast.
Oh no. Now I'm just driving. We've lost Evelio, everybody. I can't let me see if I can do something with the comments here. I can't do anything. So so Evelio is in China. His Wi-Fi has been going in and out, and we were not anticipating him leaving, but he's with Packaging Unboxed podcast. I'm with People of Packaging podcast. It was a great tournament, Michael Garden. And now Evelio's back.
I'm back.
I totally just blanked out. I just sat there awkwardly staring. Like, does anyone have any jokes? Terrifying.
Awesome. All right. So what are we doing? So I spent some time in Singapore. Then I came over I went to Shanghai. I went to Guangzhou down south, and came up to flew up to Singapore to Shanghai. I'm visiting the factory. So the team over at idpdirect.com, those guys launched are opening their 5th factory worldwide and their 2nd factory in China. Amazing. Like, tomorrow's a big grand opening. It's insane. There's like
I'm celebrating for you.
Yeah, I know. It's insane. There's like 9 floors of just high-tech production equipment. Just pretty much anything you can think of is happening. The one thing I was super stoked about was it's 100% solar powered. So all roofs are covered in solar panels, all energy producing, all packaging is completely solar, which is nuts because in China, solar is not like a big thing. They actually frowned upon it up until recently. And as soon as the government gave the green light to do put solar in, solar's up. It's like it's complete, which is crazy.
Well, they make a lot of solar panels there, so that would make sense why they would start.
They do, but they don't use solar up until just recently.
Interesting.
Crazy thing is, like, there are so many electric vehicles out here. I don't know, whatever you think of when you think of China is not it. Like, this is the future. Every vehicle is pretty much electric. There's a brand called Build Your Dream, BYD. I know that's available in Europe. Those are all electric. There's Huawei makes phones and cars that are electric. And these cars are beautiful,
Mhm.
insane. They're like, they're like 40 grand US. But these things will rival a Mercedes, which are nuts. There's some that have like um, solar roofs and solar hoods um, to help kind of power them. I don't know. It's like super high tech, super clean out here. Um, Food's delicious. Other than like my super spicy encounter that I had, that I had to draw out a Coke in order to get one.
Oh, yeah. That was a great post. Okay,
But yeah,
no, I need something.
yeah. And they're like, and then they handed me a menu in Chinese, and I look at it, I'm like, that's not helpful. You don't understand me. I don't understand you. We need another way to communicate. Um,
And you can't Google it. You can't Google
no, can't
Translate your
Google it.
way. Yeah.
No, not at all. But good stuff, man. So what else we got? We got Maryland EPR bill. You want to talk about
Yeah.
Maryland's EPR bill?
Yeah, so Ryan Fox, our friend of the show, Ryan
Mm-hmm.
Fox,
Yeah,
put a
and
post
golfer.
on. Yeah, great golfer, apparently. Maybe I bet Ryan's actually pretty good at golf. Ryan, if you're listening, let us know what's your handicap. So he had a
He's
post on
probably
LinkedIn.
better. He's probably better at basketball. He's like 7'3" or something. He's gigantic.
Yeah, but not every tall person is good at basketball. All right? I'm just
Mm,
gonna and not every short person is good at golf. We are good at bowling, though. All short people are good at bowling. Um, okay, so Ryan shared this post about Maryland's EPR laws and in waist dive, and that it's passed the House now. It's had a bunch of amendments, and I thought this was really fascinating. And I don't know why I think this is fascinating, but
yeah.
the fact that if you want to know like how much of a mess like state rights with EPR is going to be, this was a critical part of the framework. It says proponents of the amendment said the state must have a clear picture of its recycling and waste management systems before trying to write EPR rules. They said the framework, this is a quote, framework of an EPR program is critical to its success and if not properly created and implemented can result in spending or in upending existing recycling systems by creating duplicative and unnecessary programs. And so I thought to myself, you mean to tell me that this bill was written and voted on and passed without a clear plan to
Yeah.
understand the current infrastructure? This is the case of like government officials reacting to things, but not
Hmm.
and just doing something. But when you
Yeah.
just
There's a lot
do
of
something,
assumption happening.
right, you just do stuff, and we've already kind of documented what happened in France with the single-use plastic ban and the problems that are created by policies that are not well informed. And it's not like we're not out here talking about this stuff. They could
Yeah.
have called us. They could have called Ryan. They could have called Jonathan Quinn. There's all sorts of people they could have called. But they're apparently not on TikTok
Right. Or the LinkedIn.
or LinkedIn.
Yeah. So it's important that they understand their own recycling system in the state before they try to change things. That sounds ridiculous to even say out loud, but that's kind of the state we're in. But I'm sure that somebody was like, well, I put my aluminum can and my plastic bottles in my recycle bin. Like, what else do we need to know?
Yeah,
And it's like that's not even the tip of the iceberg. Like that's not even in the water near the iceberg. Like that is just, yeah, putting crap in a bin is not recycling. Putting crap in a bin is not uh, you know reducing the planet of plastic waste. It's
correct.
just what you tell your kids to go do to keep them busy at night.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about like all of my plastic bags that we get at the grocery store or
Yeah.
like this pimento cheese sandwich, none of them are single use. Almost every one that we collect goes back to the store for recycle ready drop off or is used to collect trash around the house and like like they're all trash bags. And I'm like, so are these not single use anymore? Like, how do we, there's so many terms that I feel like need definition and I'll say I'm glad that we're pushing for it. I'm glad to
Mm.
see some sort of policy involvement because that's also needed, but that can
sure.
also be destructive, right? It's like handing the keys of a car to a 16-year-old and not giving them any training. It's like, yes, I need you to go drive, but also you need to understand what it is that you're doing, right? And sometimes, or else you're going to go cause a whole bunch of accidents. So we don't want that.
Yeah.
Maryland,
But
call us.
when you're talking about like just single use plastic packaging, it's funny because you mentioned like your grocery bag. You bring groceries home in it. That's like one use, and then you use it as a trash bag. That's a second use.
Or for
I
dog
mean, it's
crap.
not like
Pick up dog crap.
for dog crap. Yeah, but then it's you're getting two uses out of it. It's still not like what you're looking for. But if you buy trash bags, if you're buying like Glad hefty trash bags, that's just a single use. Just because they sit in your cupboard for a month doesn't mean they're getting multiple uses. You put it in your bin and then you carry it out. Like that's one use.
Yep. Mm.
So your dad so Gene's dad buys like the thank you plastic bags. That's interesting. So like in New York City, they don't do plastic bags at the market.
No.
That's nuts. Arizona still does. They hand them out like candy.
Yeah, in Utah, it's like you're required. It's you have to have them in your house, I think. You'll get arrested if you don't. I mean, like we could talk about the bags here, Michael. That's a great question. I think for trash collection, if it's going to go to a landfill, it's going to go into something, right? You're not just going to take it and then dump it in. It's actually probably better for the environment for it to be in a bag, tied up, goes through the waste management system, goes to the landfill. It's not going to end up in the environment, right? And so, but if you don't do that, if you just dump all of your trash into your bin and then it gets picked up and gets dropped in, right?
Mm-hmm.
The chances of it making it all the way there are still decently good, but it's I think it's probably better just to put your trash, if it's gonna go to a landfill, just put it all into a bag, right? Into some kind of bag.
Yeah.
And maybe you could say paper is a little bit better, but it doesn't.
Is it? Yeah.
Is it?
You,
Right?
you
Like,
can
that's the
argue.
point.
Yeah, you can argue one way or another. Because then it's like, well, paper, has this much more volume, costs this much more. Obviously, we're cutting down trees. Like both sides, you're not going to be the answer on the show right now, but it's something you definitely need to go if you're looking at how to make your packaging more sustainable. Something you have to research. And for one brand, it may be a plastic bag. For another brand, it may be a paper bag. It just really kind of depends on your supply chain, your consumer experience.
Are we going over the top here?
Yeah, I turn it around, and it's like I turned into a machine. You gotta put that thumb over. That's right. How come there aren't any plant-based bags?
Well, there are.
Yeah, I mean, you can put your trash in a banana peel if you wanted to.
Well, there's PLA bags that you can go buy. You can go buy them.
You can. I don't buy into the idea of PLA bags. The science is out there that they'll degrade, and then depending on the certification they have, they'll compost, and but I still don't know if one that makes it to landfill, if they will actually compost or not. And I get mixed messages from different people. So in my mind, I just feel it feels like greenwashing, but I'm sure I'm completely wrong.
There are options, right? There's PVA, I think, is another one. That breaks down with water. There are options. It's just, what's the saying? Is the juice worth the squeeze? Like they're expensive. Like we have compostable, like when we take our dogs for a walk. So we've got like the compostable bags, and I'm like, we're not going to put our dog crap into a compost. And so this is just going to go into our trash. What's going to
just go to landfill?
Yeah. And it should
exactly.
go to the landfill. Nobody wants dog crap to be in compost.
Yeah. Well, if you were gonna do compost with it, you may as well just put the crap right in there, save yourself a bag.
Yeah. Well, how are you
Yeah.
gonna collect it when you like, we walk our dogs? Like, am I just gonna
Shovel.
scoop it up in a shovel and then carry it around for a mile?
Put it in your pocket.
Ugh.
You know.
Ugh.
All right. Well, or like I don't know if you've ever seen George Carlin. He said he feeds his dogs rubber bands. You know, so like when they go, he just picks up by the little loop of the rubber band that's sticking out and just flings flings it over to his neighbor's house.
He's a
All
terrible
right.
neighbor. So I had a
Yeah,
question for
terrible
you.
neighbor.
You
Yeah.
do packaging design stuff.
Yeah.
Just hold the dog over the compost bin. Just train him. Just train him to go in the compost bin. It's a great
Yeah.
idea.
For sure.
So I was looking, so my son is really getting into like lifting weights and getting strong and all this kind of stuff. So I was trying to get him some like protein powder. And I'm at the store yesterday. And for some reason, it just kind of caught my eye because I was like, wow, there's various different. I mean, there's not a ton of different forms for this protein powder, but you had these big, giant, like, I think they were HDPE canisters with a lid and a label on it or a shrink sleeve. And then you had the flexible stand up pouches. And then you also had the like weird hybrid version of like the molded fiber with like a plastic bag on the inside of it and a lid. And I was like, I don't, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the difference is between all of the proteins, and I'm sure somebody could tell me and I could research that. But I was looking at the packaging, like
Yeah.
which of these
There's got to be a
is
better way.
better? Like, I don't know. Is there a better solution now? Is there a better way? WHEY.
I don't have
Whey
the
protein? Do you,
I don't have
wait,
the sound bug.
whey? Okay. Um, that was soy bad. Okay.
Oh, it was even worse.
Okay. I'll say myself out. So let's talk about it.
All
So
right. So, is there a better way to package protein powder
yeah,
besides canisters, bags, or those molded pulp disasters?
yeah,
Um, yeah. So, like, all right. So I spoke to the team over at Laird Superfoods about probably what 3 years ago, a little bit over 3 years ago. Uh, Laird Superfoods is started by Laird Hamilton, pro surfer, big wave surfer. He's married to Gabby Reese. Uh, and it's like all about the ocean and like all about fitness and health. And I'm like, yeah, like I was just talking to them about their packaging and they want to like revamp everything. And I'm like, well, let's take a look at it. Like, send me some pictures. And they sent me pictures, and it was all stand-up pouches, like all plastic, all multi-layer plastic, not even like mono material. And I'm like how on earth is this coming together as somebody that's supported by Surfrider, somebody that talks about cleaning the ocean, and here you are like producing all of this packaging in plastic. Like there literally does have to be a different way to do it. So like what I would do is I would go back to the brand and start at the product. Does it have to be in a powder form, right? The reason you're in a canister is because with powder, uh, there's a lot of potential for seepage or breakage, and you want to be able to keep it safe, dry, well protected. So you need like some kind of resealability. But how are you intaking this product, right? Like you're putting it in smoothies, you're putting it in one of the blender cups. It's not like you're eating it directly out of the container. So can it be produced in another fashion that maybe will dissolve into your liquid to eat? That's like the first thing I do is I look at the product. Is there a different way to produce the product that can then relate to the packaging and cost savings all over the place? Obviously, for protein powders, a lot of that stuff is typically made by the same group of companies, and powder production is just cheap and easy.
right.
So if you can't transition out into like gels or a variety of different ways to communicate this. Every time I say way now, I just think of your stupid joke.
Yes.
And
I won.
it's like burnt in there. So if you can't move away from that, then what other ways could you potentially package this up? And I go through like the ridiculously stupid. Could you do pixie sticks of powder, right? Like, you tear it, you pour it, and it's a dose, and you stir it with your paper straw, and chuck it or drink it. Like what else can you do besides that? And if you're doing it that way, then it's all paper. You can bundle it, put it in a box, do a variety of things.
What about like the fun dip? If you remember the fun dip, but it's like different, like it's like collagen, protein. You just lick it off the sugar stick.
100%. And that's, I always walk into the client. I'm like, look, I'm going to tell you, we're going to go through every possible idea from like the super ridiculous to, the other, like the complete opposite, because somewhere in there's going to be a new way to think. And you'll be like, oh yeah, we could do that. It won't cost as much more. Or yeah, we've actually tried that. And it didn't work. Like it at least gets the conversation going before I even look at like how to package it and how to, what the materials are. What the filling process is. Like all those things are obviously going to impact the pack, but just having a conversation about like where could this potentially go, and it may not change it for today's pack, but it may be like 3 or 4 years down the road.
So when do you get into like materials? So I saw one. It's called Gnarly Nutrition, and theirs comes in. I think it's like a tin. A fully recyclable tin with a tin lid. And I was like, not only is it cool, but I also know what to do with this. But is that much different than HDPE, right? I don't know.
Right.
These are all, I don't know.
Yeah.
At what point in your process do you get involved with material selection after you've gone down the Fun Dip pixie stick route?
Well, yeah, like literally after that process, then I'll go visit, the filling distribution center. Like look at everything that happens to the pack. Like you got to understand what happened on the back end before you can actually go to size and shape, and which then is going to lead you to materials. So after going through, the filling process, talking to whoever it is that's doing the filling for them, like see what other options they have available, right? Because this may be the partner they've chosen. They're locked in a contract for 12, 18 months for filling. And this is the only machine that they have, which can only fill this particular size and type of product. If that's the case, I can't change anything without them, impacting their business in a different scale. So once you kind of determine what those parameters are, then it's like, all right, let's look at different shapes. Where are you shipping to? Like volume. Like so with like the tin's an awesome idea. Like that's really cool. But when you compare it obviously to a Santa pouch, that empty volume is massive in comparison, right? And the brand may not even care about sustainability, right? So I have to try to crowbar it in there where I can, but I also can't force it down their throat and move them into a molded fiber type of a pack, which has a plastic liner anyway. So you may as well just stick with an LDPE Santa pouch.
Yeah. I did the Gnarly Nutrition folks. They did go into, it was either steel or tin because of sustainability. Like that was a big focus. They sponsor a lot of like ultra marathoners, and maybe similar to Layered Superfoods. It was like, hey, we want to be about like nature and helping people get out and be fueled and all that kind of stuff. So I thought that was really fast. But they also had stand-up pouches, and maybe there was I'm actually going to try to go chat with them this week if I can, because they're here in Salt Lake City. I was just super curious about the whole thing.
Yeah, because I'd be curious, like, okay, like how far back did you do an LCA? Did they do an LCA on the tin steel versus LDPE, right? Because now you're talking about mining a material that's a super toxic process. Then just the entire process to get that to a shape and molded and then shipped. Like all those different things are going to impact sustainability. It's not just, obviously you know this, but it's not just what appears on shelf. It's like, oh, this is aluminum and this is plastic. You know,
Yep.
Can you get that consumer back into the store to drop off that Santa pouch at store drop off? Can there be a coupon on there that you get a discount for bringing it back, and they scan it and you get your next bag? Because that's a recurring purchase. So you're gonna have to go back and get it. You may as well take the bag back with you, get a discount, and then drop it off in the bin.
Those
or if you're getting
an awesome kiosk idea, actually, right, where you bring it back, you scan it.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I love that. You could partner with Scrap, right? Like have the UPC. You have a Scrap in-store collection bin. You scan your bag, and then it gives you $1 off or 50 cents off or something like that. It prints that out. You take your bag, collects your bag, and let's go, Mikey. Make that happen. I think it'd be awesome.
It's like how do you get people to return it? That's the big challenge. People aren't going to remember to do it unless you're paying them to do it. Yeah, and you can afford it. If you're paying for a tin can, you can afford a discount on a stand-up pouch.
Right. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Hey man, I got 9 o'clock Mountain Time, regular time.
It is. I got 11 o'clock.
You need to try to go to sleep.
Chinese time. Yeah, I head back on Wednesday. I leave here Wednesday afternoon, and I land back in the States Wednesday afternoon. So pretty super stoked to be back. Sleep in my own bed.
For now.
Last hotel, super nice hotel. It was a 2-inch mattress on a wooden box spring. That was rough. But everybody else that I'm with, I'm like, dude, that was so rough. And they're like, oh no, that was like really nice. Like that's kind of, we're used to the futons. I'm like, oh my God, that's a little too much.
Yeah, this is coming from a former Marine, by the way, everybody. He's like, no.
Yeah, but I'm old and soft.
I know.
So, shit hurts. What do we got? Maybe companies like GNC can have a bulk selection.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. Yeah,
that's a great idea. Make it happen, Reese.
Bring your own container and fill it up with
BYOC.
Yeah, bring your own creatine. When am I speaking in New York? I'll be in New York. I believe it's the second week of May. I think it's like the 14th or 16th. I'll get more information on that. I'll be at LuxPack. I'm super stoked to be speaking at LuxPack about artificial intelligence. I'll be up on stage with the team from Tiffany & Co. and Cody. We're going to be just talking about how things are changing. Tiffany & Co., I love that team and just that brand. I love what they did while the NFTs were hot, doing all the crypto punks and everything. I mean, those guys are definitely looking to the future. They're still involved in a lot of different things there, which is awesome. But super stoked. Come check me out at LuxPack.
Yeah,
I'll be in Milan after.
I'll be at D-Scoop in St. Louis. Going to be talking about social media and why people don't use it still in our industry and why they should be. I'm the warm-up act for Magic Johnson. Irvin Magic Johnson will be the keynote, and he asked for me personally, which was really magical. Yeah, he was like, I'm not speaking unless Adam's there. And so, whatever, it's fine. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you do that for him.
Yeah, I'll do that for him. So if you're at D-Scoop, let's connect up. I wish I could go out to LuxPack, but it's not happening this year. And that's fine. I'm happy with it. I'm happy that you'll be there.
There's plenty.
Gene will be
the more we get spread ourselves out, the better.
Decentralization
out there.
Let's just go be artificially intelligent in decentralized locations.
It's packaging Web 3.
Yeah, we can chat GPT our way to success.
But with that, we're going to wrap this up. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you guys next week. Super stoked about something.
Bye.
I don't know. I'm always stoked about something. See you guys.
Live from Studio 3, this is Packaging Today with Evelio Mattos.